Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Relatively Gaming Podcast. My name is Bret, aka Enigma9011, and I'm joined by my lovely co-host, turn-based TJ, aka TJ. How is it going, good sir?
It is going fantastic as always. It is Friday, so it's
Yeet?
always spirits are high.
Yeah, definitely, for sure. If you guys don't know what the show's about, welcome. Hi, here's the door. Have a seat. I don't know. Um, what we do on this show is we get here every week. We talk about the gaming news that caught our attention that week. We talk about what we've been playing, share some fun knowledge with each other, and then also talk about some future releases that we're looking forward to. If you like what you hear, whether it's on Spotify or YouTube, helps us out a lot. Give us a like, subscribe, comment if you have a topic you'd like us to discuss down the road. It all is greatly appreciated. We're thankful for you here, and yeah, let's have some fun. I guess before we get into it, hey, hi. Obviously, the last episode was pre-recorded. I survived Extra Life. I just want to say thank you so much to everybody who did pop in, support, whether you watched, you shared links, you donated. We crushed it this year with Extra Life. 28 hours, holy crap. Somehow flew by, had an amazing time. We were able to raise a lot of money and broke our fundraising record for how long we've been doing the event. So just once again wanted to say thank you all for supporting so much. And now we go back to normalcy, and it's sad. And then we wait till next year, and we impatiently wait. But we don't have to be impatient for the news this week. TJ, what do you got for news?
Well, even though it's been 2 weeks, I mean, I just said this, but even though it's been 2 weeks since we recorded, I feel like it's been kind of light on news.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got a couple quick things here. Um, First one is a game near and dear to my heart, Borderlands 4. I said in a couple weeks ago that they made the bounty pack free. However, the free bounty pack in Borderlands 4 did not move the needle one iota as far as concurrent players go. Nobody showed back up for that, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna be honest with you, even though I re-downloaded the game, I didn't play it. So that bounty pack was not as beneficial as I think they wanted it to be.
Sure.
Cyberpunk 2077, another game near and dear to my heart, passes 35 million copies sold,
Damn.
hitting that milestone faster than The Witcher 3 did.
Oh, good for them.
So, yeah, it's actually selling better than The Witcher 3, which is incredible. And speaking of The Witcher 3 and CD Projekt Red, CD Projekt Red wants to release a trio of Witcher games in a 6-year time span.
Godspeed.
So that sounds ridiculous because The Witcher 3, for example, took me like 2 years to beat. So it's such a massive game. So like I don't know how they're gonna put these massive RPGs out in such a small time span
Right.
and expect people to be able to digest them, assuming that they keep the scale of The Witcher 3.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was going to be my question. Was like, do you think they'll try and chase that, or do you think they'll make them smaller? I wouldn't say bite size, but obviously less as intensive as the Cyberpunk as The Witcher 3.
Yeah, like The Witcher 2 is like these segmented areas, it's much smaller.
Okay.
But I feel like the studio was much smaller at the time that they made that game.
Yep.
So I feel like the cat's out of the bag. Now CD Projekt Red is this massive juggernaut of a studio. I feel like they're going to put all of their resources into the next game, and it's going to be a massive open world game, is my predictions.
I wonder if, because obviously we've already seen glimpses of Witcher 4, which may come up again later in this podcast, who knows. But we've seen the reveal trailer for it, or the announcement rather. We've seen a little bit of gameplay, barely, but you know, it looks nice. I wonder if they're going to divide the team and conquer, because like, once again, with Cyberpunk, like, did they take the studio and be like, all right, you guys are working on Cyberpunk, you guys are working on Witcher 4, and kind of work on it, coinciding? No, I don't know what the word is. Co-something. At the same time. um, could you have done that? Or like how what was it, the Liberty something, whatever that expansion was with Idris Elba, like they had that.
Phantom Liberty.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Phantom Liberty. Um, so maybe they could do that and have it at least somewhat divvied up. I don't know.
Yeah, I think I read, let me not just spread rumors. Let me look this up with the power of the internet here. But I'm pretty sure Cyberpunk 2 is being worked on right now, as a matter of fact. I think I read that they had 200 employees dedicated to it.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize they confirmed that. Okay. So they're doing two franchises at once. Okay. I mean, I like CD Projekt Red. I haven't delved into their games fully. I mean, I dipped my toes into Witcher 3. Papa Griff's always mad at me for that because I did the intro and then I'm like, saw the map and I'm like, whoa, that's way too much. And then I was like, nope. And then Cyberpunk, I wasn't really feeling when it was announced. And then obviously it launched very buggy, but they fixed it since, and I've heard phenomenal things. That's another one I've dipped my toes into. I wasn't feeling right away. And then Johnny Silverhand was introduced, and I was like, oh, okay, I'm now more intrigued. And then me being me, I was like, oh, what's this other thing? So
you got through the Watson section if you met Keanu Reeves' character.
I believe so. Is that just like the building?
Yeah, it's like the big building at the end of that section.
Yeah. So that was where I stopped, was his reveal, his introduction. And I was like, oh, okay, this is more intriguing. And then I never played anything after that part, which must not have been that intriguing or whatever. But regardless, like, obviously they've made phenomenal games and people talk about them very highly, but I don't want them to shoot themselves in the foot with how Cyberpunk performed at launch, trying to do too many things at once, if that makes sense. I would rather they narrow their focus, which is tough to do when you have multiple successful franchises, but I hope they worked out the kinks, figured out what they need to do, and then not hopefully repeat what they've done. Because, I mean, we've talked about it before. Once again, Cyberpunk bounced back, thankfully. No Man's Sky was another one that had a rough launch, and that's turned it around. It's great that they've turned it around and they've gotten that fanfare back, but you can't do that too many times or else you're going to really lose people, and they're not going to be willing to give that second chance. So I just want them to be careful.
Yeah, and it really bewildered me because The Witcher 3 launched in a very solid state. That game launched really well. I don't remember there being like bugs or anything like that in the game. So, I mean, I think there were some roach bugs where sometimes you would summon Roach's horse and he would like be on the roof or something.
Okay.
But other than that, I don't think they've ever patched that out.
Is to be expected. These are huge games. I'm not saying like, oh, it's got to be perfect or, these things aren't going to happen. Right. Bethesda's fucking notorious for it. But
yeah,
it was rough when Cyberpunk launched. I know everybody was disappointed there.
Oh yeah, I think I may have told this story on the podcast before, but when I played Cyberpunk at launch on PC, and I had a glitch where every single tree in the map would load in at the same time, and you could see them through the buildings. So it was just trees everywhere, like through the buildings and stuff. It was such bizarre, and I couldn't fix it for the life of me for like a month.
Wow,
it was rough. Yeah. But yeah, having pulled that up, it says that 135 CD Projekt Red employees are working on Cyberpunk 2 right now, with plans to upscale to 300 to 400 developers by late 2027.
Okay.
I don't know how many developers they have at CD Projekt Red as a whole.
Sure.
But hopefully that's just not a fraction, but hopefully they're putting the majority of their manpower behind The Witcher 4 because that game needs to launch not buggy, in my opinion, to get some goodwill back from the player base.
Mm-hmm. I wonder if they're at like a conceptual stage, and that's why they have the 130. Like, that seems like a lot of people to me, but like, you can rough out a story, you can rough out characters, environments, figure all that out, and then once that other chunk of the team is ready to shift over, they're like, hey, here's the game plan, and then we can, be off to the races.
Yeah, I'm just excited to hear that it's confirmed that they are working on Cyberpunk 2 because I really love that first game, and I need more of it for sure.
Nice.
Steam, we love Steam, right? Steam requires devs and publishers to label their games as made by AI or be removed from the store.
Thank you, Steam.
Major win.
Yes.
Yeah. They were not playing ball. They said label it or get kicked off of the store. And that's fantastic, in my opinion.
Right.
what's not fantastic is that Russia bans Roblox from the entire country for propaganda reasons. And the government officially cited terrorist activity and support for LGBTQIA plus movement, which how are those two things in the same sentence? I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, how are those equivocal?
Yeah.
Uh,
I mean, I'm not gonna run to the defense of Roblox. No offense. There's a lot of predatory shit that goes on in that game, from what I've heard.
sure.
And the people in charge of Roblox don't seem to care or don't seem to take action. Like, there was some streamer that was taking it upon himself and working with like authorities to get some of these creeps, and the developer was like, "Nope, don't do that," or something. Like, it was stupid. It was like months ago at this point.
Wow.
But yeah, Roblox is, hey, if your kids play Roblox and they're having a great time, cool. It seems like it's a fun sandbox type, create a game mode type thing, and they can have a lot of fun. Just just be careful, just keep an eye on them. That's all I say. Don't be like, yeah, go ahead. I mean, that could go for anything. Just know what your kids are getting into.
Yeah, check in on your chittens.
Yep.
I don't know why I said chittens.
Eh.
The last piece of breaking news is that Arc Raiders becomes the most searched game of 2025, more so than GTA 6, more so than Battlefield or Call of Duty. It is Arc Raiders.
Huh, good for them.
Yeah, so I feel like they've been crushing it in a lot of different metrics as far as concurrent players and Steam chart sales, and now with it being the most searched game, I feel like that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, definitely. They've had some solid footing of like extraction shooter and getting that audience to them. So I applaud them. It's not my cup of tea, but I'm glad that it's being successful. Hopefully, it can keep that audience, and it's not just flash in the pan. Sounds bad, but hopefully, it's not just a little blip and then okay, everybody's gone. Player base wise.
Yeah, I feel like people still talk about Escape from Tarkov, so I'm hoping that
Oh yeah,
Arc Raiders
Tarkov's been
has.
around for fucking ages. Somehow these live service games, they hang on unless you're a Concord, R.I.P. So hopefully this can be one of those, like a Fortnite, like a Tarkov, like an Apex Legends, like an Overwatch, I guess a Marvel Rivals. Like, it can keep its audience, its core audience, and keep finding successes.
Yeah, I hope so because my friend is talking about buying the game, and I think I might join him. I'm not
Ooh.
sure. I might have to check it out with all the buzz and hullabaloo behind it. So we'll have to see.
Nice.
Uh, to be determined and updated. But that is all I have for news. How about yourself, good sir?
Wow, for once we didn't share any news. I'm quite surprised. All right, let's start with the negative. I do have two down pieces of news. Uh, the year of layoffs continues as Eidos Montreal suffers some layoffs under the parent group Embracer, and Eidos Montreal has been reassigned, or at least whatever you want to call it. They're just a support studio now. They're helping out Grounded 2 and other games in terms of support. They're not working on their own projects. This is just a big bummer. I've talked about Guardians of the Galaxy from them a few times here. One, more people need to play that game, but it's just a shame to see how great that game was, how it wasn't given a chance or just didn't spark a fire, and now to see what the studio's doing 4 years after that release, how they're dwindling. It sucks. I mean, layoffs in general suck. We've talked about it a few times here, how the gaming industry is getting hit left, right, and center with these from last year to continue to this year, and it's awful. So hopefully, those people who are getting laid off, they can find something, land on their feet, and get back on track. But just a bummer. Just a bummer to hear. On another sad bit of news, just want to say rest in peace to Kari Hiroyuki Tagawa, who was the actor who played Shang Tsung in the Mortal Kombat movies and reprised his role in Mortal Kombat 11. As of recording, I believe he passed away yesterday. Yeah, just wanted to give a quick shout because obviously Mortal Kombat has video game ties, duh. But those OG movies, while very campy, and if you look back, they don't hold up super great. They are kind of cult classics, and In his role, Tagawa crushed it as Shang Tsung. I mean, Your Soul Is Mine, and like those clips of him are just iconic. Having him return to MK11 and the callbacks to the movies and bringing in the movies with the game was such a huge thing for Mortal Kombat 11, especially like the crypt mode, and was just like a lot of fan service. So to see that he passed was just unfortunate. So I wanted to at least give him his flowers quickly while we were here this week.
Yeah, R.I.P. I would argue that those movies wouldn't be a cult classic without his involvement.
Oh, for sure.
He really did solidify a lot of that.
Yeah. All right, on to more positive news. One of my potential Game of the Year candidates, Ball X Pit, has officially sold 1 million copies. And because of this, over on Blue Sky on their official account, in case you missed it, we've announced 3 new content updates for 2026, all free for everyone who owns the game, including new balls, new evolutions, new buildings, new characters, and more. The first update is going to be dropping in January. Until then, get back in the pit. You've got balls to fuse. So congratulations to the team at Ball Pit. You guys heard me talk about it for like 3-4 weeks straight, so you know it's a great time. Go play Ball Pit, and now I have a reason to hop back into it after the platinum content. So good for them. Next one, I'll just touch on quickly because I'm not a pro in Footnut. But Fortnite new season launched last week, and there are quite a few changes. They got a facelift in terms of graphics. The HUD is very different but clean, and I like it a lot. But the biggest thing that's very controversial amongst fans after an endgame event that kind of transitioned into the new season, the bus driver has sadly passed away, and you no longer drive or fly on the battle bus into the map. Instead, you ride and surf on a tidal wave that surrounds the island and launch into there. Kind of the clash between people playing it and the developers has been, you tend to land in the same spot or approach the same coast in a lot of your matches. So you can't really pick your drops super well. You're very limited in your options. So that's caused some controversy. There has been some missions early on in the season that kind of alludes to us rebuilding the battle bus. So I assume it's just going to be a temporary thing. Maybe the halfway point of the season he'll come back or something like that. But weird change for Fortnite, especially since the battle bus has been a staple for the entire run of the game. Oh God, hurts to say, maybe like 10 years at this point. So just an odd change by Epic. But, you know, I respect them for like trying new things instead of just like, here we are, let's do the same thing over and over again.
And now that you mention it, it's like with all the things they've changed in Fortnite, that's like one of the things they've never changed.
Right, yeah. Over on the TV side of things, Far Cry has been announced to be getting an anthology series. This is from Deadline and Denise Petsky. FX has given a series order to Far Cry based on the popular video game franchise. The limited anthology series hails from Noah Hawley from Fargo and Alien Earth, and It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia creator Rob Mack, with Mack set to star. The series will stream on Hulu in the US and Disney Plus internationally. Each season will retain Far Cry's signature standalone storytelling format, according to producers, with each season set in a new setting following a new cast of characters. So yeah, interesting. I don't know my excitement level. I mean, I'm like that morbid curiosity peek around the curtain, like what's going on right now. I've enjoyed the Far Cry titles. I mean, 3 was my jumping in point, which I feel like a lot of people were. Loved 3. 4 I had a good time with. Primal had a surprisingly good time with. And then 5 I loved. I know 5's very controversial. Haven't played 6 yet. Whoopsie. But I've enjoyed a lot of those games. Interested to see how this plays out. I like how they're going to try and tackle different ones in different seasons. But excuse me, it's going to be interesting to see how they go from, and it's similar with all video game adaptations, how you go from the video game and translate it to another medium. Like we've seen successes with that from like The Last of Us to the Mortal Kombat movie, the more recent one, to the not so great stuff like the Until Dawn movie and many, many, many others. So
The Uncharted movie comes to mind.
yeah, I didn't think that did bad, but I never saw it. So I can't
Oh,
speak on it.
I hated that
Oh, you
movie. I
did?
hated it. Yeah,
Fair enough.
absolutely. Especially as a fan of the games. I never played Uncharted 4, but
Ooh,
the
okay.
first the trilogy of Uncharted games, man, was that not it at all.
Gotcha.
Um, I'm just learning about this Far Cry thing right now,
Hmm. Hmm.
in this moment, and I am so excited. That sounds incredible. And you have Rob Mack starring. That's great. I will say it's a little ambitious that they're uh already banking on having multiple seasons. It's like, whoa, slow your horses. Let's just do one season and see how it
Sure.
does.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
but yeah, I'm very excited for it. I think it's going to be great, honestly. I think Far Cry lends itself well to a TV show or a movie.
Hmm.
Especially the plot of like 3, for example, would be a perfect TV show.
Yeah, and I think that's where they need to start, for sure. Because Voss is such a strong villain. I know there is, I guess you could say technically two other villains in 3, but does anybody really remember the guy at the end who kind of scoots in at the end, the business guy? No, Voss is your main guy. So I would prefer that they start with that. And I beg of you, get the actor back. They modeled Voss after him. He kills the performance.
Yes.
I don't know honestly what he's doing. I know he's supposed to be Scorpion at some point, but that was also like 10 years ago at this point. Get him back, have him crush it, have him kill it, and then we can go from there. So yeah, I'm tentative. Glad to hear you're excited. Hopefully it does well.
Yeah, I feel like the best video game adaptations that we've had have paid reverence to the video games themselves. Like The Last of Us actually getting what's his the guy's name, is it Neil Brennan?
Neil Druckmann.
Neil Druckmann. Yeah, getting Neil Druckmann to actually work with the show in
Yep.
Fallout, actually having like everything look lore accurate to the video games and stuff like that. So if we're gonna go pay homage to the video game, there is no better way you could do that and earn the goodwill of gamers than hiring Voss,
Mm-hmm.
the guy who played him. Like that would immediately cement the show into gamers' hearts, and hopefully everyone out, the casual audience, will follow behind.
Right.
You can look up his name.
Yeah, because we might as well. We should say it.
Yeah, we should give him his flowers at this point.
Voice actor. I think it's Michael Mando. Yeah,
Michael
get that
Mando.
guy in
Yeah,
there.
Michael Mando should really come back. If I was the showrunner, I would be throwing so much money at him to come back.
Next one I saw on a whim, but a game we're going to be talking about maybe, probably in a few moments. But Marvel's Cosmic Invasion, the crossovers has started, as I teased a few weeks ago. Marvel Snap does have a crossover event going on with Marvel Cosmic Invasion right now at the launch. If you go over to their special game modes and Grand Arena, you can earn up to 6 cards based on the Marvel Cosmic Invasion art style for some of your heroes as variants. So you can go do that now. I believe the Grand Arena is open for a week. So as of recording, you got a few days left. Get on in there. I'm sure they'll still be available afterwards, but this is your easiest point to get them.
Yeah.
And then last but not least, perhaps the biggest piece of news that dropped today as of recording, Netflix has outbid Paramount and is buying Warner Brothers for a fuck ton of money.
For too much money.
Yeah. So okay, if you're curious of how much money, they're going to acquire Warner Bros. For $82.7 billion.
Oh my God.
Yeah, Discovery Global will spin off into a separate independent company before the acquisition. So yeah, so I just wanted to bring this up because this does include Warner Brothers games. It was ignored in the initial press release. This is coming from Game Informer and Charles Hart. The inclusion of Warner Brothers games is ignored in the initial press release that a conference call held this morning only briefly suggested the game publisher would be part of a deal. It goes on to say that they were going to be included. Developer confirmed that Warner Brothers game division would be part of Netflix's deal. So this includes several major gaming studios, NetherRealm Studios, known for Mortal Kombat, Avalanche Studios, developers of Hogwarts Legacy, Rocksteady, known for the Arkham series and the recent Suicide Squad game, and TT Games, known for the licensed LEGO games like LEGO Star Wars and LEGO Batman. There are also several WB Game studios, most notably WB Montreal, which developed Arkham Origins and Gotham Knights. So, we're going to see some transitions there. I know Netflix does have games available on the streaming service themselves. I would assume, but you know what they say about assumptions, that they would still publish these across the platforms and not make it only exclusive to Netflix's streaming stuff, but who knows? It's a bigger thing to talk about if you're taking it in the grand scheme of things. We'll have to keep an eye on it. A lot of people on my social media feeds have been recounting Xbox's and Microsoft's acquisition of Activision Blizzard and how that turned out for a lot of people. A lot of layoffs. A lot of titles not being super successful after that acquisition. So, I mean, it's day one. I don't know exactly when the merger officially goes, or the acquisition rather goes through. I think it's next year. But yeah, I hope the best for all the people there. There's games from those studios that I hold near and dear to my heart, like the Mortal Kombat series, like the Arkham series. There's games I'm looking forward to from those teams, like the Lego Batman game that we saw over this summer. I'm just hoping that, it's more of yep, we like what you're doing, keep going. I know a lot of the game studios under Warner Brothers have been very shaky lately in terms of like, well, what are we doing? Just because of money. So hopefully they can find some more solid ground with this acquisition, and it can all be successful. But we'll have to keep an eye on it because that is huge.
My first three immediate thoughts are I'm wondering, are you gonna be able to play, Arkham City or Arkham Knight, foreshadowing for later on in this episode? Are you gonna be able to play Arkham Knight on a remote control? That's what I want to know, because that would be.
I think now
crazy.
I don't have any experience with Netflix gaming side of things. I know it's very hard to search for some reason, but I think you can use like Bluetooth, like use a remote for that. I don't think you have to use like your phone, for example.
Oh, okay. That
Or
would
your
be
TV
that would be
remote.
good.
Yeah,
If you can Bluetooth the controller, that would be helpful. And in that case, if you can Bluetooth the controller for Netflix games, this is a huge step forward for Netflix games. I'm not saying that they're going to make it exclusive, but just having it on there at all
sure.
is a huge boon. My next thought immediately is, can they release the Nemesis system now? Can we all get the patent for the Nemesis system so that I can have it in the next Ghost game? That would be incredible for sure. And then lastly, my last thought is, this actually could be a good thing, because I don't know if you reported on it. I think you did, way long ago, maybe like 15 episodes ago, but how Warner Brothers was like cracking down on their gaming their gaming division, and how they're like, Rocksteady, you can only make Batman games. NetherRealm Studios, you can only make Mortal Kombat games. Avalanche Studios, you can only make Harry Potter games.
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps now this opens the door for a little bit more freedom. Maybe Netflix has a different direction that they're going to go with instead of the Warner Brothers direction, and this allows NetherRealm Studios to stretch their legs. Maybe Ed Boon's tired of doing Mortal Kombat year after year, so we'll have to see.
Yeah, I hope that's the case. Yeah, I do recall what you're reminding me about. Yeah, they were gonna focus on like their pillars, like obviously Harry Potter's very popular. Mortal Kombat drew in a lot, and then the Batman. Those are going to be their key franchises
Batman.
because those are the staples. But yeah, hopefully they can be creative. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I've only been with NetherRealm for 10 years at this point, and they've only made Mortal Kombat and Injustice. So, I mean, I don't know what else they're going to spread their wings with. I know they were midway technically before becoming NetherRealm. I mean, Mortal Kombat 2 needs some attention, needs some TLC. So we'll have to see what they're doing there. And then Rocksteady, like I love Rocksteady. Suicide Squad, mixed reactions. Like I don't feel I'm as negative as I was back in the day about it, but it wasn't great. You know, it wasn't what we wanted. And I've heard great things about Hogwarts Legacy. I want to play it, but then there's a whole another can of worms with the lovely creator. Substitute that word if you'd like. I would. And it's like, ugh, you know, do I want to support that? So, yeah, let's be optimistic. Let's hope for the best for these guys. Like you said, the freedom, more solid ground, and like backing, and we'll hope for the best. Hopefully, it's not the other side of things. Yeah.
Yeah, can you just imagine Mortal Kombat, for example? I know that the reason we've talked about how there's short game life cycle
Mm-hmm.
as well, and I believe the reason for that is the studio itself was the publisher. So can you imagine Mortal Kombat with like support like Street Fighter 6 gets, where it just continually gets support, month after month, year after year? That
Yeah.
could be that could be enticing to me, honestly.
Yeah, that would be nice. It's tough. And this comes to a personal thing too of like DLC it, is bringing that player base back. Now fighting game fans are very loyal. You brought up Street Fighter. Street Fighter is an excellent example. Like they have multiple season passes, year over year expansions, same thing with Tekken, like constantly new characters coming in. So I wonder if that would re-energize Mortal Kombat going away from that 2 year cycle, like the launch year, and then you kind of get that second year of like the post DLC stuff, and then they're like, all right, bye, we're going to the next thing. I wonder if that would help. I'm trying to think of like a depth, because it's only really for any of these games, it's only really a character at a time being added. And maybe it's just my lack of knowledge of like the fighting game community and like the player base and retention. Is it just here comes new character influx for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, whatever it is, dies off, then you wait another month, okay, new character influx, blah blah blah. And I mean that's going to happen anywhere because it's new stuff. Or is it not as big of a drop off in these shifts as I feel it is? It's hard to say without looking at like actual data, I guess.
I feel like along with just the characters, you brought up Tekken. Tekken is a great example of this. They do balance changes, and Tekken does some crazy balance changes that like changes the gameplay almost entirely.
Okay.
For some of the seasons and stuff, like makes the game more aggressive or more defensive and things like that. So they could do massive balance changes, which would also keep the community engaged.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I wonder how that would affect their story output too, because Mortal Kombat does
Mhm.
seem to focus on story a lot. I know the others have it, but I don't know how focused they are on it. So I would just wonder how that would come into play too. Not that distance or a gap in time, a longer gap in time, would have that struggle. That would actually be better. You know, you could polish everything more. But I wonder how they would feel with that. I also wonder if the microtransactions would continue, because that's been a bit of a plague in the NetherRealm side of things these past few releases. We'll see.
Mhm. Yeah, all good questions. All TBD. We'll have to see how Netflix handles the gaming division, but overall, it is exciting and scary times for
Yeah,
Mortal Kombat and the Warner Brothers games division.
for sure. Well, let's get away from the scary times. Let's jump into what we've been playing. TJ, what of the many things have you been playing?
Yeah, I have been playing 7 games. I
Yeah.
wrote down. It's been 2 weeks and my ADHD has been fired up. So I've just been playing games, bouncing around. I want to talk about one game in particular, though, because it's the game that I've played the most, which is Doom: The Dark Ages.
Mm,
I've been playing the crap out of Doom: The Dark Ages, and I have been absolutely loving it. I beat it on Hurt Me Plenty, and now I'm playing on Ultra Violence, and I'm going through, and it's a heckin' good time. I'm actually enjoying it more on Ultra Violence than I was on Hurt Me Plenty. I think it's very fun. It might very well be my favorite Doom game, although I am, as we speak, downloading and installing Doom Eternal. So
mm.
hopefully my internet doesn't crap out in the middle of this podcast recording. But so we'll see. I'm gonna do some backtracking and see if this is my favorite Doom of all time. But man, do I really love it. There's a lot of great aspects to it. In Doom 2016, I know you're very familiar with that game. With like the zombies and stuff, you can just like melee them constantly.
Yeah.
You just get unlimited melee. So I would just melee spam the tiny zombies and kill them and get some health. And I was kind of upset in Doom: The Dark Ages when I first played it because you can only melee like 3 times. Um, or once if you have the big hammer thing that you get at the end, the
Yep.
big whatever it is, the mace. So I was like, oh, I can't melee spam. This feels weird and wrong. But then I realized that the shield replaces that. You can just throw the shield whenever you want, like Captain America, and that thing just cuts right through any of the smaller demons. So you're just whipping that thing around, just killing all the smaller demons. You don't have to worry about using your melee. In fact, you can use your shield for like so many different things in the game. It's incredible. Um, I feel like one of the other great things about the game is the pulverizer.
Mm.
Honestly, I think the pulverizer is one of the best games, one of the best guns in gaming. I feel like it's so good. That's the one with the skull in it
And
that
crush it
shoots
up.
the wide
Yeah.
arc. Yeah, I absolutely love that. It's very fun. I think it's one of the best guns in gaming, like I said, and I think it's really propelling the game to be one of my favorites because it's just so versatile and with the upgrades you get like you melee and then it like charges up the skull to be yellow and
Mhm.
it does like extra damage, so you're constantly doing this dance of like meleeing and then you pulling out the pulverizer, and it's so fun. uh Speaking of meleeing, they replaced the chainsaw. There's no chainsaws in the Dark Ages. So instead you have big mace, and you have your melee system, and I feel like that actually really worked out in the game's favor because instead of the chainsawing, it only takes like 3 seconds, right? But in Doom time, that's like an eternity.
Right.
Because you go up and you chainsaw a demon and it's like, "Woo." But now you can just melee enemies and that gives you your ammo back and it takes like 2 seconds. Not even, it's like real quick. So I feel like that actually speeds up the gameplay a little bit.
Sure.
I know a lot of people talk about Doom: The Dark Ages being the slower of the Doom games, but I feel like that does speed up the gameplay to keep you in that dance because you just melee real quick like one enemy and then you're still in it.
Hmm.
Um, I also love. I know I just talked about the pulverizer, but I love that they finally added some weapons that give the super shotgun a run for its money. Um, the super shotgun will always be the goat. If things are going bad, whip that bad boy out, and you will probably get yourself out of a hole. But the what do you call it? The chain shot and the impaler both do so much damage that they almost do as much damage as a super shotgun. And they have the benefit of being a little bit further range than the super shotgun. So there are certain enemies where I will whip out the chain shot instead of the super shotgun to do so. And in Doom 2016 and Eternal, I'm just riding that super shotgun the whole way. Like I'm not switching off. I'm just gonna chainsaw to get the ammo back, and I'm gonna switch right back to the super shotgun. So I really like that this game actually gave me pause, and I'm like, huh, should I use the Impaler right now, or should I use the Chain Shot, or should I actually use the Super Shotgun? It's been good. They all three hit really hard, so that feels really good. So loving the game. I plan on playing it on nightmare mode after I beat my ultra violence. So I'm gonna see if I can crank up that difficulty and see if I can actually do it. Because I've just been having a blast doing it, and I don't want the game to end, even
Mhm.
though I've already beaten it.
Now
I don't want
you
it to
brought
end.
you cleared this a while ago, probably closer to launch. What got you back into the swing of things with Dark Ages? Like, what made you want to jump back in?
Honestly, if we're being 100%
Yeah.
honest, I played it on Game Pass,
Okay.
and I really enjoyed it. And then it was on sale
There
for
you go.
Black Friday. And I was like, yeah, let me play it again. Let me play through it again. So I played through it again a little bit, and then I just absolutely fell in love. I was like, oh yeah, I do love this game.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually don't even mind the dragon sections and stuff because they actually intersperse like regular Slayer sections in the dragon sections more so than I noticed initially.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of the times you just fly to a spot and then you're fighting normally and then you get up and you fly to another spot. I will admit the dodging mechanics, like with the cannons, is a little lame because it's a little formulaic and slow.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said it gets you into those Slayer sections pretty quickly, so I really don't mind them very much.
Cool.
Um, and actually, Doom: The Dark Ages. Speaking of that dragon section, it reminds me of another game I've been playing called Arkham Knight.
Woo!
Batman. Why does it remind me of Arkham Knight? Because everybody complains in Arkham Knight about the Batmobile sections.
Bitches. No, I'm just kidding. I get it.
Yeah, and everybody complains in Doom: The Dark Ages about the dragon sections. And I feel like, and they're both the third installment of their respective series, and they're kind of shaking it up. I mean, Doom is like the 50th game of the, yeah.
Actually, it's the fourth Batman game. It's just the third one from Rocksteady. Okay, sorry, continue.
Oh, okay. I for I, like most people, forgot about Arkham
How
Origins.
damn you.
So,
How dare you.
but yeah, third one from Rocksteady. Um, and of course it's like it's there's a lot of Doom games, but it's the third of this like revival
Sure.
series that they have going on at id. And they both try and shake up the core gameplay by adding in these different sections, be it the dragon or the Batmobile, and they've both been lambasted for doing so, but I actually think that these shakeups are actually good for the games. I think it works in Doom: The Dark Ages to keep the Slayer sections from being just too monotonous, just wave after wave, arena after arena, which you can do if you want, by the way, because they added something called the Repertorium, yeah, and in the Repertorium you can actually set up your own arenas with demons, any demons you
Oh,
want, and you can flood it in and just play Doom that way if you want to. So you have that option if you really want to. Um, but to keep the game from being just the Repertorium, you mix it up with the dragon when you're playing the campaign. And in Arkham Knight, instead of just pushing XXY all the time, you you get into the Batmobile. So I've been playing Arkham Knight, really enjoying the Batmobile sections, really enjoying that game. I've actually never played it before. So
ooh.
playing through it now has been very fun. I'm actually really excited to see where the story's gonna go because I
Cool.
don't know.
Cool.
And
Cool.
Scarecrow seems pretty cool.
Hmm.
So
Where are you at, if you
it's
don't
been a
mind
good
me
time.
asking?
I'm not very far. I've
Okay.
played for like 2 hours. So
Okay.
I put like Poison Ivy in the jail,
Hmm.
and now I've been rescuing firefighters. That's been
Cool.
about it.
Awesome. Can't wait to hear more.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm excited for it. It's been very fun. Um, Speaking of superheroes though, I've also been playing a lot of Marvel Rivals.
Okay. Cool.
Uh, because Gambit has been out,
Hmm.
and man, do I love Gambit. He is my second favorite character, bar none. It's Moon Knight, and then it's Gambit. I finally found the healer that I love the most. R.I.P. Cloak and Dagger. Um, it's gonna be Gambit from now on. So I've been playing a crap ton of Marvel Rivals, and I just wanted to give it a big shout out because I've really been enjoying Gambit, and been playing more than ever because of Gambit.
Hmm.
Other than that, I've been playing Cosmic Invasion, another superhero game. I will let you talk about that in your section, so I'm just
Okay.
gonna briefly give my thoughts here. and just say that I enjoyed the little amount of time that I had with it. Um, I played it a little bit. I felt like it was lacking the depth of the gameplay in Absalom without all the counters and dodges that I kind of got used to in Absalom. There's really not that aspect in Cosmic Invasion. However, I did enjoy using all the different characters and stuff, and I have been going back through and playing the arcade mode every couple of days, just for kicks and gigs. So it's been a good time. Didn't live up to my expectations, but it's been fun. Um, I've also been playing Ghost of Tsushima.
Hmm?
Uh, this time with Ghost of Tsushima, I'm not tackling every question mark on the map,
Fine.
constantly opening the map and trying to get everything. I'm just doing like the story missions and like the side missions, like basically the missions that have like the face icons
Yeah.
on the map. And I've been enjoying that game way more by doing so.
Hmm.
I feel like you don't have to really do every single question mark on the map to enjoy the game. You don't really need all of those upgrades, especially if you get good at the gameplay. You can really get by with just doing the main missions. And I've really been enjoying the game since I've been playing it that way. And I can't wait to see. I never got to the second section of Ghost of Tsushima when I played it the first time, so I'm excited to rescue Lord Shimura and
Hmm.
beat that castle section and get to the second area, which it looks like it has like golden reeds instead of the white flowers or something. So that
Yeah, it's
looks
been a
pretty cool.
while.
Or maybe I'm thinking of something else. Yeah, they have a different flower texture.
Sure.
They like change up the environment. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's very cool. Been playing Clair Obscur a little bit. Still playing that. I've been pacing it out deliberately though, because I don't want to burn through it.
Okay.
I also just haven't been in a JRPG mood. So I've been I've been more in a Doom the Dark Ages mood, which is the opposite of a JRPG.
Right.
But I'm still playing it here or there, and I'm still very much enthralled and want to see what happens next. So whenever the mood strikes me for a good turn-based game, I'm gonna be right back in there immediately.
Hmm.
Um, and then last but not least, I've been playing Halo: The Master Chief Collection with Michael, podcast alumni, and we've just been playing through Halo 2's campaign. And I gotta say, I never owned an Xbox. I was never an Xbox guy. I was a Nintendo kid. So uh, I never got to play through those campaigns. I just always played through the multiplayer when I was at friends' houses. And I gotta say, the campaigns are really fun. They're really well done. I'm kind of excited. I deliberately started at Halo 2 because I wanted to save the first Halo for the campaign Evolved that's going to come out at some point.
Oh, yep.
Um, I want that to be fresh for me, so I kind of avoided playing the Combat Evolved remaster or whatever in the Master Chief Collection. So we'll be playing through two. I don't know if we'll be playing through three and four and Reach and ODST and everything, but I hope so because I played through Halo 4's campaign and I did enjoy it back in the day. So as controversial as that is.
Okay. Nice. Very cool.
And with that tidal wave of games, that'll do it for me. That's what I've been playing.
That's
How
awesome.
about yourself?
A lot of good stuff there.
Yeah.
So I'll quickly you brought up Absalom. I'll quickly touch on that. I have been playing that more on my own, slowly making progress through it. I finally reached the final boss once, unfortunately lost to him, and then it's been the journey of getting back there. Um, Galandra's my girl. I've been sticking with her. Sorry, Carl. But I've been going with her. Just really enjoy her move set. Enjoy the inspirations that she gets. There's one ghost sword ability that's been very helpful that she acquires. And I found more boons that I've enjoyed. There's one with like thorn daggers that you can spawn that's been very helpful for some of the bosses that I was struggling with to just chuck those at people at distance. So really been enjoying that game and been motivated to play it. Once I get to him, once I get to Azra and beat him, like I'll know I'm actually making progress. But I've been enjoying the challenge of that. I've been enjoying seeing my progress. We talked about it on stream because I happened to play it this week. But like from our first discussion here, where I was like, oh, I suck at the parrying. I feel like I'm getting hit a lot with a lot of dumb things, to see where I've come from with the first playing of it to now, I feel like it's night and day, and I feel like I'm actually kicking ass. There's still struggles here and there, but I don't feel like it was as tough of a mountain to climb as it was in the beginning. And that's the beauty of a good roguelike, is you can see your player's progression and your progression as you go through this. So I've really been enjoying that, and plan on playing that to completion and trying to get that platinum. There doesn't seem to be anything that's super intensive, or a really hard trophy to get. So I think it's doable. It's just a matter of obviously playing it, which has been my one of my zone out games. I'm still paying attention, but obviously, when you're just punching shit, you don't have to really pay attention too hard. Another one that I stayed up a little too late last night playing because I was close to the finish. I am very close to wrapping up Power Wash Simulator 2 finally. I've been back and forth on that. I personally really enjoy the big landscapes and environments to clean. I hate the vehicles. So whenever I get to a vehicle, I'm like, this is what I gotta do. And then I lose motivation. So that hit me for a little while. There was this big dumpster truck type thing I had to clean. So I got in a little bit of a hiccup with that, but once I got past that, it's been rock solid and smooth sailing. But I'm on the very last level of that. So looking forward to finishing that this weekend, and that's another platinum I've been chasing. Should be able to wrap that up, because it's mainly hey, in this level, do this first or do this last, which I've been trying to do as I go, but there was a few I missed. And then let's get into the big one. Let's talk Marvel Cosmic Invasion, TJ. We can elaborate on it further. So I'm on that similar boat of you, where I feel it is good. It is a solid game. I think I'm just being a little negative about it personally. I think it's more of the expectations I had versus the expectations I should have had going into it, if that makes sense. I was very excited for this game and what Tribute Games was bringing to the table. I think the art style is phenomenal. I think the gameplay is great. I think the music is great. However, I felt the experience was very short. You and I, we played separately on our own, and then we played arcade mode and played the campaign entirely all the way through. It took us about an hour and a half to get through that thing entirely. Now, did it have challenges? Yes, I died a lot. But we did it on essentially one run. We never died enough where we had to restart the arcade run and go from start to finish. So when we got to that end point, I was a bit disappointed. Now, given the time between us beating it and now, I have come to the realization, and that's where I feel like I'm being a little too negative on my thoughts, is this is based on old arcade cabinets. Those were meant to be quarter eaters. The campaigns were never super long, and this is emulating those styles. So that reflects why the campaign is a little shorter. So I think I need to give it a little bit more grace on that front. One thing that's more nitpicky, and I told you this off stream when we were playing, we got a reveal for 15 characters. That's a great roster. It's very diverse. There's a lot of cool characters in there. Like you said, the characters are very fun to play. Something that I hate, and it's not just this game, it's games across the board. Unlockables are appreciated. Unlockables are awesome. It gives me, the player, something to chase after, to try and obtain, gain, keep my attention, and have me playing more. If you reveal something and show it off pre-launch and then make it an unlockable, I hate that. So, for example, when you launch the game, you have 4, maybe 5 characters that are locked. Silver Surfer is locked, Venom is locked, Phoenix is locked, Phyla-Vell is locked. There might be a 5th that I'm blanking on.
I think that's all of them.
That's all of them, okay. And they're locked, and you unlock them through the campaign. Sidebar, that's totally fine. I get that from a story perspective. Hey, this character is evil. I'm not going to do any spoilers here or anything, but like, this character's evil. This character needs to be saved. This character's XYZ, whatever reasoning in the story. That's why you get them later. Totally fine. I hate when it's shown, this is our character roster. Then it's then I have to work to unlock them. I think it would have been more rewarding for a player base to have those characters not even be revealed and have them unlocked. We talked about it on stream. Something that I feel like would have kept players longer is have hidden characters similar to Shredder's Revenge or Rita's Rewind, games that are also arcade beat-em-ups that have come out in the last few years, where, okay, Rita's Rewind, the Power Ranger game, if you beat the campaign, you unlock Tommy, the Green Ranger, and then you can play through the game with Tommy. In Shredder's Revenge, wasn't shown off, if you beat the game with one of the turtles or what's her name? Is it Penny? I don't know. The news reporter lady. You unlock Casey Jones. And now you can play it through as Casey, which was fun. It was exciting. With this, there's nothing. You don't get anything. It would have been nice if, like, okay, now I get it. Character development, move set, all that stuff. It's a lot of work. I'm not saying this is easy stuff. But it would have been more rewarding to the player of like, okay, you clear the game with an X-Men character. So Storm, Phoenix, Wolverine. You get Cyclops, for example. Cool. You clear it with an Avenger, Cap, Iron Man, Black Panther. You get Hawkeye. I don't know. Something along those lines. Have those little hidden goodies for us. I think that would have been better. But I also know that's very selfish of me to be like, give me more, you know? I just feel like that would have been a little bit more rewarding. And they had unlockables with these characters, but then they also have this like cosmic map thing where you can unlock alternate palettes. Cool. You can unlock music. Okay. You can unlock like dossier files so you get more info. And while all those are appreciated, you also could have sprinkled more interesting unlockables in there. So, I don't know. It's probably me just putting too much of a high ceiling or anticipation or excitement level pre-release, false narratives, whatever you want to call it, in my head, and then getting this and then not getting delivered those things I put in my head or hopes or whatever. That's what's leading to my negativity. And I think that's just the main thing here and my main hang up, because all in all, it is a very good game. Everything runs very smoothly. We played crossplay. We had limited to no hiccups in terms of like lag or skip or anything like that. So as a game as a whole, it is solid. I just don't think it's like amazing as I was hoping for, which is a bit of a bummer. But I realize like a lot of it is on me of like, oh, I wanted, you know, bells and whistles everywhere and it's not there. So like, I don't know. It just wasn't as exciting to me. I don't know. Arcade modes aren't really my thing of like, yeah, I'm going to go back and replay it with different challenges and stuff like that. But that's just a me thing. If that's something you guys enjoy, you know, more power to you. But I think it'll be something that I'll play through the campaign again, do challenges, trophy hunt, stuff like that. But if they announced a hypothetical DLC for this, I don't know how excited I would be, in all honesty. Like, it's like, nah, I'm good. I'm good with what you gave me type thing. So I want to be more positive about it. And like I said, I'm understanding at least now that a lot of it is just me wanting more that wasn't there. But I don't want to shit on the game fully and say it's bad, because it's not. It is a good game. It just wasn't what I wanted fully. if that makes sense.
No, it does. And that is sad to hear with the DLC because I'm over here anticipating DLC. I think with the sales and the marketing hype that they have generated, they will probably hit those sales targets and give us DLC. If you look at Shredder's Revenge, which is the same studio, if I'm not mistaken, I believe that's also Tribute.
I think so.
Um, they did a lot of DLC characters in that game. So I'd be interested to see DLC characters. I'm more interested to see if they do DLC modes. That would be the thing that would entice me more and bring me back to the game. You're right. If it's just stock characters, I don't know if that would bring me back either. Because although I do enjoy the game, because I've played the arcade like 4 or 5 times, I already know. I'm like, okay, this level's coming up, and then it's this level.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I don't know. Do you have any closing thoughts on Cosmic?
No, just I have enjoyed the game, but I also have felt disappointed. I felt like there's even less content than there was in Shredder's Revenge. Now I jumped into Shredder's Revenge late, so perhaps that's why.
Mm.
I never got any of the DLC for Shredder's Revenge though, so just the base game of it, I still felt like there was more content than there is in Marvel's Cosmic Invasion, even though there are more characters in Cosmic Invasion, so I don't really know. It just felt that way. At least the campaign felt longer.
Mm.
I'm sure they're the same length, but I just felt like I was getting less in Cosmic Invasion than I want. I bought the game. It's $30, by the way. I feel like it should be like $20
Mm.
if we're being honest. And I tore through it in the one day that I bought it, basically. And then if I wanted to, I could be like, I'm done.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Sticking on the Marvel train, and this is kind of a tease because I will be able to talk about this more in depth next week for sure. But I have been playing Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls. I think that's the full name. I got to play through the introduction before we recorded today. I made sure to get on there so I have some impressions. I just did the tutorial. I haven't jumped into lobbies just yet, but so I'll have more in-depth thoughts, feelings, etc. on next week's episode. But from the little I did play, prior to jumping into recording today, ooh, boy, man, it is fun. The art style is great. The flow and the movement is really cool. It's going to be interesting getting used to movesets. So basically how the game plays out, you have your 3 attack buttons. So you have your square, triangle, and circle on PlayStation, which are light, medium, and heavy respectively. Your X is your assist button. So you can either just tap it or hold a certain direction for your assists to come in. You can also swap characters through that button by holding it down. There is a character-specific special move on R1 or the right bumper. And then you have, I believe your super move is both the trigger and that bumper. I'm sorry if I'm getting that wrong. For each individual character. You can swap from your characters very easily using that assist button, whether it is just on the fly, assist in general, or you can chain your specials or supers together just by holding down the assist button. So one character who you're in charge of will do their super, hold that button down, the next one will swap, do their super, and you could keep chaining it together as long as you have energy bar or whatever you want to call it on the bottom of your screen that you're managing. So there's that. I haven't noticed, granted I just did the tutorial and it didn't explicitly say, I haven't noticed, similar to like Marvel vs. Capcom or Street Fighter, quarter circle movements, Shoryuken movements, Tatsumaki, like the half circle movements. I haven't noticed that in terms of like special moves. So I don't know if that's available. So that's, I wouldn't say a concern, but just an interesting note that I noticed. Another thing that I did that it does teach you is combos. Every attack button has a auto combo of sort. So if you repeatedly hit square, that will do a combo into a finisher. If you repeatedly hit triangle, it will do a combo into your character's special move, I believe. And then if you hit circle, it will go into your super. So similar to auto combos that have been introduced more recently into fighting games to try and attract newer players. This is available right off the bat for everybody. I'm curious how I'm going to feel about that. If it's just going to be auto combo for everybody, and then it just doesn't feel creative, which sounds weird. Or like, you're really thinking about movesets. But granted, this is all very top layer stuff that I've been dealing with or learned in the, 15 minutes I played the tutorial or whatever it was. And then the last thing I'll say is there's counter moves, which is nice. So if you're blocking, you can counter out of a strike. And then if you time it, you can almost like a parry reverse somebody, which is kind of nice. So I gotta mess around with that a little bit more. But yeah, just tease for next week. Tokan stuff.
Did you ever play Persona 4 Arena?
I did not.
Okay, because that game also has a lot of from the same developer,
Right.
and that game has auto combos out the yin yang, and I felt like that game ended up the auto combos worked in its favor because A, skilled players can always outwork the auto combos, and B, I feel like even as a low level player, you're kind of looking for windows of opportunity to use that. It was less spammy and more like, okay, he whiffed this grab, now I can use my auto combo, like that kind of thing.
Sure.
So we'll have to see if Tokan plays out the same way. I'll be excited to watch at twitch.tv/enigma911 to see you play it some.
Yeah.
But we'll have to see.
Yeah, it felt very familiar as well with Dragon Ball FighterZ, which is also the same dev, in terms of movement and stuff. I just don't remember that being as so hit this button over and over again, do something. I don't know. That just felt weird to me. I thought I'd be mixing it up more, but maybe that is something that will come with time. And yeah, like TJ mentioned, I plan on streaming it tomorrow as of recording, so the VOD will be up for you guys if you want to go check it out. And I'll probably also be recording some other stuff and maybe editing it out, so you can go check it over on youtube.com/enigma911 or at enigma911, whatever it is. But we'll talk about it here next week too. And I'll gush about it. I already got a buddy messaging me, be like, hey, you want to play the beta? So I'll have some people I know I'm playing against, and then the shitters I'm going to get my ass whooped left, right, and center playing. But yeah, in this beta, Spider-Man and Ghost Rider are now available for the first time to be played too. So I'm going to try my hand at everybody, but just so you guys know, those are the two new characters. I believe we're also supposed to get the X-Mansion as a stage, which I'm really excited for, to see who pops up in the background. And then be like, oh, you're not in the game. Oh, you're not in the game. And go from there and be sad. But we'll see.
Hey, as far as I can tell from the X-Mansion, no Cyclops. So
there you go.
Hopefully.
All right. Well, everybody, let's head into our favorite segment. It's, hey, you want to learn something today? Well, too bad, because I'm not teaching today. Today, we're talking about the Game Awards yet again. You caught that episode where we went through all the nominees for the Keeleys, gave our brief predictions for what was going to win each category. Well, today, with it coming up on the Thursday that this podcast goes out, so this Thursday, go to twitch.tv/enigma911. We'll be doing a live react to the Game Awards if you want to watch. We'll be watching it. TJ, I'd like to throw it to you. What are some things that you think might be announced here? And then we'll get crazy at the end. But what do you think are like maybe higher probability potential of showing up at Game Awards and getting announced?
I don't know about announced, but I feel like Resident Evil 9 is going to be shown off more for sure. I feel like they're going to have a big showcase for that game. Absolutely.
Yeah. Do you think it will just be more story, or do you think there'll be any fun surprises?
I think there'll be some fun surprises. I feel like a certain character will be revealed and shown up to maximize the hype. But that is my big prediction that they will pull up at the Game Awards, is that they're going to have a nice Resident Evil 9 showcase, which it's not too surprising. They've already shown off a lot of the game, but I feel like they're going to show off, you know, a decent amount more that we haven't seen. I feel like they've kept some stuff close to the vest. So
Yeah, you say they've shown a lot. I mean, I don't feel like they've shown much, if at all. Like, yeah, they've shown it off twice, but we've really only seen that intro, if that. Like, I'm curious what. Ooh, I don't even remember the main character's name. I'm so sorry. I wonder what hijinks she's gonna get into. I wonder what the fuck's going on with this creepy undead lady monster thing that's following around.
yeah,
Like, I mean, I know we're excited. I know Charlie, who's been on the podcast, is very excited. Like, I don't feel like I need to see more because I'm already sold. But I
right.
wouldn't be like, oh no, I don't want to see. Like, I'd be like, all right, let's go. Yeah.
Yeah, that I wouldn't be surprised if there was more Resident Evil 9. I wouldn't be surprised if there was more of Hideo Kojima's game.
OD.
Uh, yeah, I forget what it is called, but they announced it at the Game Awards last year, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, with
So it would be cool if they showed some updates of it this year,
mm-hmm.
especially since he's working with Jordan Peele,
Right.
which is very intriguing just to see what it was because the announcement didn't really reveal too much last time.
No, we did get that gameplay. Well, I assume it's gameplay. That cinematic revealed maybe a month ago. The candles and shit, and people were like PT vibes. So yeah,
Right.
that's a good call.
That would be cool, especially if, hey, maybe this might cross into crazy hopes and dreams territory, but man, would it be sick if they're like, there's a demo out now, play the demo. That would blow my mind.
I mean, they have done that. They did that with RE7. They did the it's not the kitchen demo because kitchen was the VR thing.
Right.
But whatever that demo was, everybody was freaking out about and like trying to figure out where the mannequin finger went and all that jazz. So, I mean, that'd be cool. Did RE8 get
That would
a
be
demo?
cool.
I don't remember.
I don't know if I'm being honest.
Okay.
And then my last prediction is that The Witcher 4 is going to have some more gameplay reveals because we've seen a lot of the story trailers. We've seen a lot of the pre-rendered like cutscenes, but we have not seen actual gameplay and how that's going to work. So I feel like a gameplay breakdown would be incredible. I don't know when that game's supposed to come out, so maybe a gameplay breakdown is also a pipe dream, but it would be cool if we saw just a little bit more of what Ciri is capable of.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good
See if
one.
she actually uses the Witcher stuff because she's a Witcher now. So like, is she going to use the blade oils? Is she going to use the bombs? Is she going to use all of these Witcher tools and not just her like blink dash ability?
Mm.
I'm very excited to see if that comes to fruition or not.
Yeah, that's a good shout. That was going to be one of mine. Because yeah, they did the tech demo, so I'm wondering when do we get the gameplay? That would be nice. All right, so a few for me. They're kind of off the cuff here. We talked about Tokon, so a selfish one would be show me more characters for Marvel Tokon. That could be something you could build off the hype of the beta that's this weekend as of recording. Show off, I mean, it'd probably be 2. I would love 4 characters because I'm selfish, as we've learned this podcast. Just give me more. Show off some stuff there. Something I didn't know of the beta here, it is just Japanese audio. So I wonder when we start getting like English announcements. That would be kind of nice. So I think Tokon characters would be good. See, I don't know if this is high probability. I think it is just because I think it's supposed to come out next year, but I'd love to see more of Judas. Where the fuck is Judas? I think they've been doing, I believe, dev diaries recently, at least this year. And I think they had somewhat of a gameplay demo where they showed off some of the bosses or mini bosses or like faction leaders or something along those lines. So I'd like to see a little bit more of an in-depth look at Judas. Judas is from the BioShock OG developers. So if you're a fan of BioShock 1, it's got a lot of Rapture vibes in its art style and depiction so far. So I'd like to see that. What's something else? I'm trying to think of something that was maybe shown in the past that got me excited. I don't know. Do we get another Wolverine trailer?
I feel like we just had one.
I mean, summer. I don't know. I would say maybe.
I I just come up. I just on the spot came up with another one
Go
that I
ahead.
would like to see.
Yeah.
If you don't mind me barging into
No,
your
no, no.
section here. But Clockwork Revolution.
Ooh.
It is a like BioShock style game. We saw that at the Game Awards last year. I would like to see an update on this game. I'm very excited for it. I really don't like steampunk stuff,
Mm.
but the way this game is being handled makes me really really interested into it, and I want to see what they're doing with it, honestly.
Yeah, good shout. If I'm remembering correctly, I was very excited for that one too. And then I believe it's an Xbox Studios game, or like one of their umbrellas. So I got
Mm,
bummed just because that's not my platform of choice. But granted, things have been crossing over more recently, so maybe it'll just be like, hey, it's a 6-month thing, like Indiana Jones or something. We'll have to see.
yeah, or maybe they'll put Game Pass on PlayStation one day. We never know.
The dream,
With Xbox.
maybe. Yeah. All right, TJ, do you have anything batshit crazy? Just get nuts that you're like.
Yes. Here's my crazy prediction. Okay, you ready for it?
Yep.
The Steam machine was announced. You know what would sell a Steam machine really well? Half-Life 3.
Just going off of these things. All right.
I don't think Half-Life 3 is in development. I feel like Valve has quit game development entirely. I think they've just thrown in the towel and said, "Fuck it, we make more money than God by not making video games, so we're going to continue to do that." However, man, would that be fucking nuts? That would blow the house down. I think people would lose their minds if Half-Life 3 came out, was revealed at the game show. The Game Awards, because I don't know where else you would announce Half-Life 3. You know what I mean?
Oh, sure.
There's no more gosh, why can't I think of the convention anymore?
E3.
What was the convention that E3? There's no more E3. See, it evaporated from my mind even. It got destroyed from my mind. So there's no more E3, so the Game Awards is really the spot to announce a game. So I feel like if they're going to announce Half-Life 3, that's where it'd have to be.
Yeah, either that or Summer Game Fest, but yeah, both are Keeley joints. Well, that's a good one. I think you got some traction there. Some people have been chatting about it. Jeff Keighley did the little tweet of like his Steam library and being one thing in the wish list, which kind of got the ball rolling here. I'll ask you this now. Have you seen the statue in the desert?
No.
Okay. Apparently, there is some statue in, is it the Mojave Desert? I don't know. It's some desert in California. But there is a statue depicting a lot of demonic figures and something. Helps if I type out the right thing. Statue. All right, Game Awards major reveal with demon statue. But it's not Elder Scrolls 6. This is from Vice. Not seeing who wrote this. I'm so sorry. Jeff Keighley is teasing a major announcement at the Game Awards 2025 by installing a giant demon statue in the Mojave Desert. However, an insider has confirmed the game being teased is not Elder Scrolls 6. In case you missed it, the gaming community was recently sent into a frenzy after the Game Awards creator Jeff Keighley posted map coordinates on social media. The November 29th post specifically gave the location of the Mojave Desert. What was there, you might ask? Well, a giant 8-foot demon statue that lights up at night. The art piece is reportedly a tease for a major game being announced at this year's Game Awards on December 11th, 2025. So yeah, check a look at your leisure. There's a lot of demons. It's
just put up a picture of it.
Weird
I see
looking.
an alligator in there.
I don't know what the fuck's going on.
Not Elder Scrolls 6. Could be Diablo.
Yeah, that's what the article says too.
I wouldn't be surprised if maybe Diablo's next expansion. It's been a while since they had their Vessel of Hatred expansion.
Sure. Yeah, very, very
But
weird.
time will tell. Maybe that's Half-Life 3. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of
What do you think it
interest.
means?
I don't know. I haven't looked at it like closely because I'm like, all right, whatever. Cool. I like the tease. I'll see it when I see it. Um, I've seen a lot of people chatting. People brought up the Diablo thing like you. Somebody brought up Doom. Um, Shout out to the Trophy Room, a PlayStation podcast, and our friends over there. Kyle and Light said possibly this is Bloodborne 2 or something FromSoft related.
Oh my God, Bloodborne PC remaster, Bloodborne PC remaster,
Right?
please.
Which, I mean, I know gamers have been asking for Bloodborne remaster or Bloodborne 2 like for ages. We're at the 10-year anniversary. Joe from there was like, I could see it being From Software, but maybe it's like an Elden Ring 2, which I know also would be up your alley.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been a little while, but also they're working on Duskbloods. They got Elden Ring Night Rain going on, so I don't know. But yeah, I have no idea. I have no idea what it could be. It's intriguing. I just hope it's not one of those things are like excitement, and then it's like, oh, that was it. It was just that, or what? So I'm trying not to get too overhyped and excited about whatever this statue is, but apparently Jason Schreier has said he knows what it is, and it's a good one. So, I mean, granted, Jason's got some credibility, but like, I could say that. Oh, I know what it is. I'm not gonna say it, but so it's like, okay, dude, whatever.
Do you think in the middle of the Game Awards, Jeff cuts to the statue in the middle of the Mojave Desert and is like, okay, now what the statue means?
It just
Like,
cracks open like an egg. Ivan Ooze pops out.
no, just I'm keeping on my theme. Just the letter 3 is revealed. The number 3.
Yeah. Letter 3, baby.
Oh man.
Yeah.
That's exciting though. I'm excited for next Thursday.
Yeah, me too.
Because the Game Awards and also having that disappointment. So it's
Oh,
an
exciting,
day all around.
fun.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll give my balls to the wall one. This is like low, but my balls to the wall crazy prediction is that a new Smash Brothers will be announced. You have a whole new Nintendo console. You need to sell these bitches. We've had a while since Ultimate. Kids mind for the Smash Bros. I don't know. It would be hype as shit, but I'd be tentative because, as I've said before, you went Ultimate, everybody's here. How do you top that? So that would be my only concern, and be like, I don't think that's happening, because that's a very, very tall hill to climb. But that would definitely be fucking earth shattering.
I feel like there's a higher chance of Smash 5 or 6.
Yeah.
Smash 6 being announced than there is of Half-Life 3.
Wow.
So
Okay. Yeah. I don't know, man. Half-Life Alyx wasn't that long ago.
true, they were dipping their toes back in.
Mm-hmm. So yes, once again, guys, if you're listening to this podcast as it releases this week, we will be watching the Game Awards and hosting it over on twitch.tv/Enigma9011, whether it's just me or both of us on the live stream. We'll be watching it together, hanging out. So if you guys want to chat games with us, talk about the reveals in that chat, or just hang out with a less toxic group of people, you're more than welcome to do that. That'll be Thursday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern. So come on in.
And I will be there one way or another, whether I'm in chat or on screen. Both of us will be there.
Indeed. All right, let's wrap up today's podcast with our final topic. It is, what are we looking forward to playing next? TJ, what are you looking forward to?
Well, I kind of just blew it already,
How
but
dare you?
it's Clockwork Revolution.
Nice.
I'm very excited for this game. It's been a while since I played like a BioShock style game. I never played Atomic Hearts, which I guess I could go back and do that.
Mm.
But this game just looks incredible all the way around. I don't know what else to say about it besides it just looks fantastic. It looks like it is going to fulfill that BioShock power fantasy, that first person shooter kind of immersive sim narrative game. Looks very fun. I've been hankering for that style of game. That style of first person shooter has been sorely missed, I would say, in the past couple of years. So I really, except for the aforementioned Atomic Hearts, so I would really love to see what they do, and I'm very excited to get my hands on it. The release date for this game is TBD, so
Mm.
we don't even know the release date for it.
Okay. Very cool. All right, one I'm going to shout out this week has been teased a while back, but I don't think we've seen anything in quite some time. It's a game called Phantom Blade Zero. Phantom Blade Zero is an upcoming. Oh boy, I am going to mispronounce this word. Wuxia? Wuxia. I don't know. Action role-playing game developed and published by S-Game. The player assumes the role of Soul, an elite assassin in the service of an elusive and powerful organization known as the Order. Set in the Phantom world, the story is centered on his mission to uncover the truth behind the murder of the Order's patriarch. Gameplay, action role-playing, is played from a third-person perspective. The story campaign is strictly a single-player experience, while certain endgame content is available as multiplayer experiences. When this was revealed, it just struck me of like, wow, this is gorgeous, and seeing the animations of the combat as this character was whipping around their sword and fighting enemies was just insane. It looked beautiful. I'm not sure. It has a lot of resemblances of Souls-like. I don't know if it's going to be as challenging as that, or if it's going to be more actiony, like a Devil May Cry per se, or a God of War. But it just looked really impressive. Like I said, the animation and the choreography of like the moves you're doing against these enemies looked insane. So yeah, I'd love to see more of it, and hopefully hear a release date soon.
Yeah, no, I do remember seeing some gameplay footage of this game, and it does look really, really solid. Um, I think there was like a puppet boss
Okay,
that I watched be played through or something. It was really cool. So I'm also excited for this game. I really can't wait for it to come out.
nice. Well, everybody, this has been another episode of the Relatively Gaming Podcast. We appreciate you guys hanging out with us today. Remember, if you did enjoy what you heard today, please drop a like, a sub, or a comment if you have a topic for us to discuss down below, whether it's Spotify or YouTube. It does really help us out and helps you stay on track with when episodes drop. But yeah, we appreciate you guys hanging out with us today for all the fun game awards and lots of Black Friday deal games that we've been playing. Yeah, TJ, thank you so much for recording this episode, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having me as always. And yeah, bye.
Time to play more Tokan, baby!